Alrighty. It's your boy Gutsy.
It's your boy Ritzz Carlton in the cut. You know what's going on, man.
GTV news. We shouldn't be doing that at the news channel, right? We shouldn't, Yeah, peace sign. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. But we here with a quick news story, man. GTV news. We're breaking down all the stories in the city, all over the world, and unfortunately, this past weekend. Christmas weekend too, guys. Like, holy S word. Like, I know you guys like to turn up during the Christmas holidays, but come on, can we do better as a city? Unfortunately, well, not really unfortunate, but Ruby Rose came down here this weekend to, I guess she was doing a walkthrough. Does Ruby Rose have like songs to perform? Like hit singles?
Apparently, she has a few tracks that people are telling me about, but they just couldn't name them. But she has some tracks. I know she used to make some music and like be rapping a bit.
Yeah, well, I'm not a fan of her music, but visuals to look at, amazing. But Ruby Rose came down to the city. Shout out to the people at what is it, Trap Lounge, Trap City.
Trap
That's what
City Lounge, yeah.
yeah, Trap City Lounge brought her down to have a dope event. I seen the boy Wicked was there, spinning there too as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
with.
So the people that I'm seeing, two people were unfortunately shot. One people I believe was deceased. It was a whole mess. It was a wild scene. The reason why I wanted to call Rittz in because we were speaking during the day, and I was asking him like, Rittz, what's going on for the night? Rittz was just like, I ain't going nowhere. He's like, yo,
Yeah, I had
I'm just
a
gonna.
night off for the Friday and the first time in like John knows how many years. And said I was gonna stay home.
Right. So he told us we were staying home. He told the man of me staying home. And then I right before I was going to bed, I see Ritz's story, and I'm like, holy, he was beside Ruby Rose. I'm like, damn. But then the news that happened in the morning got me worried, and I was ringing off your phone. So before we get to the mix up in the drama, how did you end up in the club? One, two. How was Ruby Rose looking? How was the the atmosphere of the party and all that?
All right, first off, if I was supposed to say how I ended up in the party, as a lot of people know, my right hand man is Ace. That's my dog's one of my best friends. So he hit me, and he's really close with Wicked. Me and Wicked are mad cool, but him and Wicked, they chill, like they chill heavy. So
Yeah.
obviously, I fuck with Wicked heavily too. That's my guy. So when he told me Wicked is spinning over there, 'cause I didn't know. You know me, I'm not tuned into like other people's parties like that as much as I should be. You know me, I just stay in my lane, do my business, handle business. So he
Facts.
Ace called me and he's like, "Yo, Wicked spinning at Trap City. We have the night off. Ruby Rose over there event. That's the event that's going over there." I'm like, "Bet. I'll fly. That's the only thing that could really get me out of my bed for a party." So I'm
Right.
like, "Hey, yeah, I'll come support Wicked and I'll come see Ruby, whatever." Pull up over there now, and then yeah, it was a nice little vibe. It was supposed to before, I would say if I was to describe the atmosphere, I would say very good, better like atmosphere looking wise of the COVID stripper parties. I
Mm,
would say it was the same
mm.
type of environment like that, but just like in a better looking venue. And yeah,
True.
that's how I would describe that, to be honest.
Was Ruby Rose looking as good in person that she does in those
I'm not gonna
cameras?
lie. This is what I'm gonna say about Ruby still. She's gorgeous. Like she's a pretty girl, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But without her clout, I would say she blended in really well. I didn't take in it was even her at first. Like she looked like just a regular eyes, just pretty girl. But
Mm.
she is mad pretty. I'm not gonna be like, she's just her regular eyes. Nah, she's still really pretty. And she still has like the slim, thick type of like, look to her and stuff. Like she was good looking in person, like it's not no fake shit on the internet. Like she looked good in person.
I think that's what it is. I think because she's slim and she's thick
Yeah.
and she has a nice body,
And
but
she has
because
clout.
she's slim, like more of the other girls that like they're all big booty, big breasted, so they're out there, Gajonka. When if they're in the club, you're just big ass chain on.
Yeah, that's what Cece said. She said that's what Cece because Cece hit me when she seen it like right after I posted it. She's like, "Yo, you're good," and she was even saying we had a
Mm.
little conversation after. She was saying, "Yeah, like that's why she's like one of her favorite celebrities. And she's been following her for so long because she stayed natural, just keep it
Okay.
slim as."
Shout out CC. Make sure you guys shout out CC and DJ Wicked. Go check out both of the interviews with the boy Rittz that he
It
has. You know what
is.
I'm saying? Big interviews. But yeah, man. Obviously, it seemed like it was going to be going down as a great night, good vibes. I seen a lot of people posting their videos of inside the club, but unfortunately, outside the club had some mishap. We heard different stories. We're not gonna get into the stories of what happened and all that. I don't even want to get into like the
Yeah, I don't
individuals
want
and
to talk
all
about that
that
shit.
stuff. I just want to say like RIP to the individual that lost his life. Condolences to his families and stuff like that. And also too, Trap City Lounge just put out I want to say like a response to the situation where they're saying like, obviously they apologize to what happened, but now they have to close down. So for something
They
like this,
said
that you're
temporarily closed, but I guess
temporary,
we'll see, you know?
but that happened to thing too. What's the other one? And then they have to switch up the name in Mississauga there.
Oh,
They
you're
changed it
talking
to
about
Jungle.
her.
Her, yeah.
Not
So it's
Jungle.
kind of like the same things where you're seeing like these dope events, especially the stripper party ish events. They seem to be drawing in the wrong crowd or the wrong people into these events. And as you as a promoter, like how does this become a problem? Just not even just for the promoters, for the DJs, the owners, everybody, because now it puts you guys in a bind for when you're actually trying to work now. Because now you're trying to get different events. You might try to get artists to link up with. How are you gonna do that if niggas is coming here ruining the events?
Nah, for sure. But yeah, first off, I definitely want to say like rest in peace to the individual that lost his life and prayers out to the family, like for real. And also to answer your question, I would say it affects our business in obviously a very big way. Because when it comes to especially gun violence in the city, the police do not play. And there's a lot of people like me and Wicked, like our full-time occupation is like the party scene, you know?
Mm,
So we feed our families off this. We feed ourselves off it. This is how we make our living. So we have a plan of like, okay, like this is where we're gonna be for certain places at certain times. You know, there's a schedule. So when stuff like this happens now, it affects the business of I would say I'm gonna start with the promoters and like DJ side of stuff because then it's like, okay, like what do you want to do for work after when something like that happens and like we don't have work? You guys want us to provide all these amazing parties. You guys want us to entertain you guys with amazing parties, but unfortunately in the city, like when situations like that happen, it's hard to keep the ball rolling and keep the nice events and good events coming like that because that's just how like the police see it. They once they see something, even like say back in the day when I did the Doobie thing,
mm.
there's nothing really going on too much. I was doing that ankle, but they didn't want it happening just because of the whole like
Pain and
how the
everything that the
atmosphere of
underground
everything is
vibe
in the
that Doobie
street.
brings.
Yeah, which obviously he came through and everything went fine, everything was good. So I feel like that's opened a lot of doors to a lot of things, but at the same time, the city needs to kind of like appreciate the fact of what we do behind the scenes because it's honestly a lot of work, money, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into like creating these parties. It's not just slap a fly on there and everything's just lit. Like we put in a lot of work behind the scenes. There's a lot of calls being made. There's a lot of money being invested, you know, and it trickles down to like, hey, like if so much people put in so much love and work for the city, it's gonna be one day where it's just all gonna collapse down and we're not gonna have no nice events over here.
Not even just that, you won't be able to bring artists down here. Like there's gonna
Exactly.
be. I think what people fail to realize, and a lot of these guys, they're not in the entertainment industry, so that's the problem too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these guys that are doing some of these crimes, they're not in the entertainment industry, but the police or the detectives are kind of mixing the two.
Yeah.
So they're like making it seem like, oh, this is a rap beef or this is this kind of beef when it has nothing to do with it. And just like it just hurts the entertainment side of the city because just like we said now, you could have an opportunity to bring artists in to get paid to come perform their songs, get a new audience, but now they can't do that because it's like, well, hey, people are shooting up the events.
Yeah. But
So
that's why it's also like I feel bad for like obviously it depends on how they're doing it because obviously in any city you need to know what type of like people you are bringing and you need to know like hey like certain areas of people you're bringing and like who's bringing what because yeah it is important that some people don't run into each other and it's also like when you do bring out certain people you need to like treat them a certain way so everyone is safe too because sometimes when say like if someone's outside too long, something can just happen because they want that one person. You know what I mean? And
mm,
security sometimes I'm not gonna say they're on a high horse. They are doing their job, but they're not lenient enough sometimes. I would say. And then I'd even answer like how it affect the club's business side, and it obviously affects them the most because the clubs, like they're not cheap. You know what I mean? Like in general, like downtown, yeah, rent's like 90,000 and stuff like that. Yeah, but like
Jesus Christ.
that's just the type of game the entertainment party thing is. Like you need to like some people need to realize that like these
Hold on,
guys
90,000 a month?
yeah. It could be 80 a thousand, like 90. Yeah, it could be like that's how much rent is a month for these club owners. That's why when people say, okay,
Damn.
like why are bottles so expensive, this and that, you need to understand there's like on the back end, there's a reason why to accumulate enough money so that they can stay open for you guys to even come through and have fun. But that's another thing they realize too when it comes to like yeah, like these type of situations. Those owners, they really be hurting because they dump so much money into the spot, which like they know the risk they're taking, but we have to appreciate it a little bit more still because really live in Canada. You know what I mean? There's not as much stuff to do up here, especially when it's cold.
Yeah,
So
and then just like you're saying, sorry to cut you, it's bringing down their value now.
yeah,
So now
and like
the
it's
club,
hard for them to work with other people again and stuff. When it's like, hey, they could be such a good person and such a good like, thing for the city, but because they went through one situation where their club went through an unfortunate event, it can mess up a lot of things for them.
it kind of reminds me of like a DJ Snoopy situation where, I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't want to go to Snoopy's events because sometimes you hear shit's kicking off, even though it has nothing to do with Snoopy. Snoopy will
Mm-hmm.
put on the event. He's just putting on the event. He's trying to put on the best show that he
But
can
it
have.
affects his brand. It doesn't
But
affect the man.
exactly,
It affects his
it,
brand. Trust. Yeah.
so and it's just something that this is why I want to interview Snoopy because it's something I want to ask you. Does that discourage you now as a promoter too? Because it's just like fuck. Like I know this is not your
I'm gonna keep
event.
it a
Like,
buck. Yes. Because even what I went through with the Duvie situation, no one even knows what the fuck we went through with the police. Like,
mm,
it's not easy to even try to get stuff like that. And it's like, I don't even care. Me, honestly, I want to see all the man shine in the city because it's only going to bring another man up, right?
facts.
So when it comes to especially Toronto man events or like Toronto rapper events, yeah, it's very discouraging when I'm out here. I want to do anything for the man I'm out here because there's so much talent out here. Like you see me talking about it on here all the time. I'm put in a position where I can help these guys. I want to actually take advantage of it, but it's hard because of everything that's going on. So yeah, it's very discouraging when it comes to like trying to put stuff on for the city.
I think you gotta just help the people that want to get help. I think that's how you have to look at it. Like, don't make it. Obviously, you're not gonna get discouraged. You're gonna keep doing what you're doing. But at the end of the day, it's just like you gotta help the people that are gonna want to take the help. The people that are just gonna go off and do whatever, they're just gonna have to go off and do whatever. Unfortunately.
Now I hear that, but more times it's not even them. It's you know, so
Mm.
you can't even say that because it's like it's really not them. They know what they're doing. They're putting themselves in a position to, but obviously like we're from the ends. Some people are from the ends. Like it's just they have some people around them that obviously they'll do anything to either protect or just a situation happens and it's just you just never know, and it's unfortunate.
So what do you feel like? I know it's like a really hard question to ask, but what can we do to just like improve on the clubs to make them a little bit more safer? Because I know you're speaking about the situation with the securities on the outside. Like, what can the securities do, or just in general, what can people do from your aspect of it to make the city just a little bit safer?
I see a few things for us to start with security. I would be like if they get intel on okay, this person should not be standing outside due to it's like a risk of safety to everyone, they need to actually handle that and that needs to be either like obviously because these guys are linked in with promoters or managers or owners, when that message is relayed, it needs to be taken seriously. That's one thing I would say. I would say
Do you think you're sorry to cut you? Do you think there needs to be a limit on who's outside? Like I see a lot of times, like I go to the clubs, or when I was going to the clubs, that was my number one issue is the lineup. I
yeah,
feel
but
like, fam, if I'm in a line for like 5-10 minutes, I'm easy target. Like, is there a way for them to like even speed it up, have more people outside so they can speed up the line a little bit better? Because you have
it's
people that are
tough
outside.
because you got to think about it. We're going through a single doorway or like it's only a certain amount of room in the hallway regardless. So it's like you can tell them, okay, add more security for more quicker searches, whatever, but this will only create a more mess. So you can't
Mm,
even I personally I would say it's just what I'm saying. It's just especially if it's like certain people, like yeah, you get that intel, like actually like get those people in. Other than that, I would say like there's nothing else anyone can really do but leave it at home or come out and actually just have a good time and focus on like partying. Like you know what I mean? That's literally like there's nothing else we can really do other than like the people that are involved in things to really actually like yeah, not at certain areas, I would say. It's the same thing with K, like what you do, shoot up a park. Like it's
Well,
kind of the
yeah,
same thing. You know what I
niggas
mean?
have done it, so it's
That's what
like
that's
at
what
this
I'm
point.
saying. It's like that's what can you really do to prevent it if like you know what I mean? It's there's nothing we can really do to prevent it. It's just how it
Would
is.
you advise for and I know this is kind of for the shorties out there, because a lot of girls go out and party, they want to have fun, they're posted stuff, they're not looking at it for a big, as a big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, yeah,
Or for some of the
yeah.
shorties that might be watching because of you, because girls don't watch it because of me. But for some of the shorties, just in general, that just be watching the show, that just be taking it in. Do you feel like they should kind of like chill on the whole,
Posting?
yeah, posting when they're at the club, or like wait till you're out the club just to be safer for the people around them? Like, do you feel like the club should have certain codes? Like, don't post certain stuff right
It's
away. Wait till
if
you
it comes to that,
post.
then you're just I feel like that's too much control on the people, so it's not as fun. But I feel like just them under I feel like the girl is understanding more, yeah, like maybe I shouldn't be posting right now. Yeah, I understand that. But to actually put a restriction on it, yeah, I don't think that would be a good idea. I just think them actually being more aware would be better.
Vegas, you
One
got your hand
question.
up, bro.
Yeah. One question, Rittz. Do you feel like if Ruby Rose was brought to another, to another location, because it was at Western Road and Steels, we know that's close to the ends, you know what I'm saying? Close to a couple ends. If she was brought, say, downtown, or even maybe, I don't know, Vaughn or somewhere, you know what I'm saying, other than that location, do you
Yeah, I feel
felt
like it
the
would have went
night
way.
the same way? Do you felt like it would have went the same way?
That's hard to say. I would say the ideal place would be downtown. And if, to prevent like stuff like that from happening. It may like people could say it's a little biased because I'm a downtown promoter, but honestly, I feel like downtown is a little bit more safe because there's more. One, there's more foot traffic. Two, there's more police roaming around. There's more cameras. Like people would think more about doing stuff downtown than in like areas and venues like that per se. Yeah.
I still kind of think that in that situation, only because it was outside, I don't think there's anything you could do about it.
That's what I'm saying. I personally don't feel like with this specifically, like, yeah, no, I don't feel like it's hard to really say, okay, we could do this and that to prevent stuff like this from happening from our sides. You know what I mean? It would
I,
have
I
to be
don't
it would have to be the man really to set their own type of rules, like to be honest.
I don't even think it's fair that like Trap City is even getting like, because I feel like even for all the clubs, the after hours that hold events, if something happens outside, there's only so much control that we have. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that shouldn't be on the clubs if something happens outside of the vicinity, fam. Now, if it's inside the vicinity, that's totally different.
yeah. That means you allow the Tuli to get in, like that's on the club. Yeah,
Yeah, like if somebody gets stabbed, shot in the club, I can totally understand them getting that on the club and be like, yo, you allowed somebody to get in the club. But if something happens outside of the club has so much, like, only so much control. Like, I don't know the area, but like, what if that was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it was like the pizza or something across the street and the people them got bad and then came over there, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, I'm just saying it's not fair for the club.
no,
At least that's for me.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
but
would say one more last thing before I have to cut out. I work at Juliet tonight, so I gotta skedaddle. But I would say, like, honestly, like with the whole gun violence thing and partying, I just want the man to honestly really understand what we go through in the back end. Like, it's not easy for promoters, DJs, club owners, managers, bottle girls that rely on this income to bounce back from that because like we live different lives. Like we're not like regular people. We don't be up during the day. We're up at night. Like, so it's like that's our schedule, that's our routine. You're affecting people's like livelihood, jobs, homes by like going to parties and really doing stuff like this. So it's just, yeah, I just hope the man really understand that more, to be honest.
And really quick, so you were inside when all this happened too, right? When the whole thing went down.
I knew it happened before anyone even came and told me, to be honest. Yeah, I was inside.
Why, like you heard something or like?
I'm very observant. So when I seen someone, a security guard run in and was wiping himself and realized there was no mud outside, I realized what happened. And then I seen some people run inside literally 2 minutes after that.
And then like they shut down the club, what, like 10, 15
Basically,
minutes?
how they shut it down was Rubi Rose got on the mic. You see me recording her. I was right beside her, recording her. She on the mic beside Wicked. And then they chopped it up a 1-2. She said a song for him to play. The man spun the track. Not even half of the track spun. Boy, and ran up onto the DJ's place, like the stand, and like
Wow.
cut the music. Shit's done. What are you guys doing? Like yelling at us. I'm like, who the fuck you talking to? Like, relax. Like, you think we know our gone? Yeah, we knew our gone. But still, you know what I mean? It's like, relax. You can't come at us
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, that's basically what happened. They shut it off right there and then, literally right after Rubi Rose walked off the stage.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty
Oh
dope.
man. Hopefully the city does better.
No, honestly, because honestly, like, yeah, like, you know, I always say this, man. The city's such a beautiful place, but it's a lot of stuff that hold it back, unfortunately, and a lot of stuff that could be fixed that's holding it back. But that's Toronto, right?
Unfortunately, yeah, man. City, please, guys, do better, bro. We gotta do better as a city if we want the city to grow. Unless we want the city to continue in this lapse that it is, then hey, man. But other than that, it's been the Mandem. This is a exclusive breaking news from Rittz that was live on scene. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with a friend. Do all that good stuff. It's the Mandem, GTV News, and we're off of this.